Welcome back to MLB The Show 24's franchise mode, where we have another episode of the Charlotte Racers. And we did not make the postseason because we were bad. We were 64-98, which you might say is only up from here. Before we jump into some of the other big things, I just want to talk about some of the league leaders or team leaders we basically had here. From a hits perspective, it's going to be Garrett Hampson with 147. Home runs, it was Christopher Morel, who honestly felt like kind of the MVP for our team this season. RBIs was Morel as well with 66. Stolen bases is going to be Garrett Hampson with 26, but Green and Goloff both were up there. Soderstrom is a catcher with 28 speed, and he had 11 stolen bases. I don't know how. From an average perspective, Alemis Diaz didn't play in a ton of games, but 308 average for him. Seth Brown was doing pretty good at 304. Probably guy you want to keep around a little bit here. Hampson at 270. Wilson, came up in the majors a little bit, had 76 at bats, batted 250. I feel like most of our guys had a pretty good season. Overall, our strikeout leader was unfortunately James Wood, but I figure one of our rookies is probably going to be up for it at that point. Our doubles leader was Garrett Hampson. Our triples leader was Garrett Hampson as well, with Morel having 4 at that point. And then the guy that got hit by the most pitches was Kyle Manzardo. I don't know why. Maybe he's got a hittable face. I don't know. And then from a pitching perspective, Jordan Montgomery led us with 13 wins. Manning has 11. Blackburn has 8. Bello has 6. You can see that some of these guys were definitely negative in terms of their win-loss record. But again, they weren't getting a lot of run support. Defensively, there were a lot of guys that just weren't out there in the right spots, like Drew Jones. But our guys did what they ultimately could. Our loss leader, Blackburn and Bello, both tied for that at 14. Zach Jackson had 32 saves. I still despise him and probably want to get him up out of here. Our ERA leaders, Jordan Montgomery, again, 2.45, which is incredible. We also saw Daniel Espino start out 3-0, then go 3-3 with a 5.84 ERA. Again, I blame a lot of it on our defense. I blame a lot of it on the lack of offensive runs. We will be better in the second year. We had one shutout thrown the entire season. That was by Matt Manning. I don't even think he was pitching for us at that point, which is pretty tough. Our strikeout leader was Jordan Montgomery again with 145. Bello, though, despite being 6-14 on the year, had 127. Blackburn 6-14 or 8-14, excuse me, was 119. Manning 105. Espino 62. Remember, we did trade some guys and move some guys around, but Snell was really our ace, who wasn't really an ace and didn't get the run support he needed either. I mean, he had one complete game again, Mr. Manning, which I'm excited to see him pitch next year with a much better team around him. From a relief pitcher standpoint, Mason Miller had 6 wins. We also saw that Hogan, who technically was a starting pitcher, isn't showing up in any of these categories. Had a bunch of wins as well. Going through the American League really quickly, Julian from the Twins had a 329 average. Vlad Guerrero Jr. batted 328, which is pretty insane. We move on to hits. It was Vlad Guerrero Jr. with 194. We go to at-bats. Nobody cares. Doubles. Julian goes for 45 doubles, with Vlad being right behind him as well. I feel like Vlad's probably MVP this year. Evan Carter, the rookie, goes for 12 triples, tied with Jarren Duran of the Red Sox. Home runs is Corey Seager with 47. Vlad is 39. Trout at 44. Still stays with the Angels all season long as well. RBIs, Corey Seager at 129. Runs, Vlad as well. Stolen bases, Bobby Witt Jr., who was traded from Kansas City to the Twins in a pretty crazy trade that there wasn't good value, in my opinion. Ends up being on the injured list, but he still had 43 stolen bases this year, so he balled out. And then from a batting award perspective, Mike Trout's going to be 10.1 there. Judge is right there. Corey Seager's there. Luis Robert has a really good year as well, but I mean, Mike Trout pretty much is on top of that list regardless. From a wins perspective in the AL, Clark Schmidt gets 21 for the New York Yankees. That is a 76 overall. Clark Schmidt just balling for the New York Yankees, which is pretty crazy. Nestor Cortez, the Yankees just killed it with those two guys. You got to imagine they're one of the top seeds. You move on to losses. Clark Schmidt had 3, so the least from anybody that was qualified as well, with Bieber and then Christian Javier only sitting at 4. From a saves perspective, Clay Holmes, again, the Yankees balled out. They must have had an incredible record. 57 saves for him. In ERA, our guy Jordan Montgomery takes home the crown at a 2.45, beating out Luis Castillo and Clark Schmidt. Home runs allowed, Lance McCullers only gave up 16 on the year. Montgomery only gave up 18. So again, I feel very good about him being, our ace going forward. Luis Castillo had 4 shutouts. Blake Snell, who we again traded, went to Detroit and kind of resurrected things. 258 strikeouts in the season for him. We kind of look and see how he ended up. 8-13 on the year. So win and loss wise, not great for him, but he definitely punched out a ton of people. And then Castillo, 4 complete games, tied with Pablo Lopez and Nathan Eovaldi. And then the most innings pitched was by Luis Castillo. And then pitching more, again, I'm really excited about this. Jordan Montgomery, 4.5 wins against replacements. I'm here for it. We probably don't have anybody else on that list, but the fact that Jordan Montgomery was the #1 guy from a pitcher standpoint, I'm proud. And then flying through National League for the batting average, Freddie Freeman takes that. Hits is Freddie Freeman. Ohtani, again, is right there neck and neck every single time for this stuff as well. Your doubles goes to Ronald Acuna Jr., with Shohei again right behind him. Triples is Trey Turner, with Jazz Chisholm and Ronald Acuna Jr. both tying him. Ohtani had 7, which is pretty crazy. From a home runs perspective, Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani, 48 and 44 respectively. Shohei leads in RBIs with 138, dominating, as you can imagine. Mookie Betts gets the most runs with 110. Most stolen bases is John Birdie of the Marlins. They have something to celebrate about this season. Walks is going to be Kim. Your on-base percentage is going to be Freddie Freeman as well. From a pitching perspective, Joe Musgrove has the most wins above anybody, AL or NL. 23 in the season, with Zach Gallen and Shohei Ohtani being right behind him. Ohtani should get MVP considering what he did from a pitching perspective and a hitting perspective. That's insane. From a losses perspective, Sonny Gray only had 3, tying what you saw in the AL. From a save perspective, Alvarado gets it for the Phillies with 51. ERA is Zach Wheeler with a 2.67. Not as good as Jordan Montgomery. Home runs allowed, Eduardo Rodriguez only gave up 15. The shutouts, Ranger Suarez has only 4, tied with Eduardo Rodriguez. Strikeouts are Spencer Strider with 275, most, beating out Blake Snell. And Ohtani nearly had what Snell had as well. And he still did a crazy job hitting. Insane. Complete games, Rodriguez, Wheeler, Suarez, Musgrove, and Gallen all had 4 innings pitched. Musgrove had 232. Walks allowed, Logan Webb is there. Whip, Zach Gallen at a 1.06 with Musgrave and Spencer Strider right behind him. And then your pitching war is going to be Joe Musgrove, 5.9, with Spencer Strider being 0.1 behind him. Again, incredible year, but Ohtani, I mean, come on now. This dude is unbelievable. And then your awards, and look at it in the American League, you're going to see that Corey Seager takes home your MVP. In the NL, you should not be surprised. It's Shohei Ohtani's award to lose every year, but Mookie Betts was right behind him as well. The Cy Young is going to go to Luis Castillo in the AL, and then in the NL, it's going to go to Spencer Strider, with Ohtani finishing 3rd in that one. The batting title goes to Eduardo Julian, and then you see it in the NL going to go to Freddie Freeman with a crazy 339. Reliever of the year goes to Clay Holmes, which you shouldn't be shocked at that when you saw his stats, with Evan Phillips getting it for the National League. Rookie of the year in the American League goes to Colt Keith of the Detroit Tigers, and then in the NL, it goes to Juanquel Fernandez, who again had a really good season there for the Rockies. Your Hank Aaron Award goes to Mike Trout. I feel like that's something that he gets all the time. National League goes to Ohtani. And then to no one's shock, the Yankees face the Dodgers in the World Series, but the Yankees actually beat them. I guess in this universe, Garrett Cole did not get hurt, and Ohtani, Mookie Betts, they have enough firepower. The Yankees win. Everybody cries. I mean, look at the retired list. Michael Kelly and Sean Newcomb retired from our side, but nobody's really sad over those, unfortunately, at this point. Parker Bass retires to injury. A lot of these are just sort of, ones we would expect here. Charlie Morton retires due to age. Matt Carpenter is going to be retiring as well. And then most of the other guys you see retiring, it's poor free agent market, or they just didn't really have the ability to really get it done. Matt Bush retiring, Chris Clements. No real major names stuck out to us. Josh Donaldson, okay, is probably a guy that we thought had already retired, but he does retire at this point as well. So Zach Greinke goes out, Yuli Gurriel goes out, Will Harris, Rich Hill. So there are some big names, but most of the big names were sitting in free agency, like Evan Longoria. So for the Hall of Fame in 2024, there's not a single inductee. I guess everybody's still accusing people of steroids and not realizing that was part of baseball back then. So a big thing we got to do this offseason, we did a bunch of, renewing contracts and bringing guys back. That takes about 50 minutes to actually do, so you don't see it in this video, but it's on the live stream if you want to watch on twitch.tv/GoodGameBro. But we have some arbitration things we have to sit through right now. Paul Blackburn, we got to figure out if we can kind of figure maybe a contract for, maybe offer him arbitration. Wow, you won a lot more than I'm willing to give you. So we're going to try to go to arbitration with that guy. We're going to offer him, his previous salary is 3.4. I'll offer you 3.5. I will offer you that. Zach Jackson is honestly our best relief pitcher overall wise. Not super happy with him. Let's kind of see what money he wants. He's 35 or 30. He'd won until he's 35. 5 years, 11 million across that. I'm much more likely to give him like a little 2-year deal here. Like I'll offer you that. Matt Manning is now arbitration eligible. Part of the reason why he was probably included in that trade that we had. We will 1000% make this guy an offer. 5 years, 31.5 mil. He'll be a little bit more interested if we kind of bump that up a little bit more. And I realize that, probably got to pay a little bit more for a guy like that. We're going to consider him a rotation guy, and I can actually pay him less. He's 27. We'll pay him less, and we'll kind of bump this money So like 32. I'm trying to pinch some pennies right now because we're probably going to need it in free agency here in a second. So we're going to make sure we lock him up. Given the rotation spot, he should be pretty fine and be okay with that. Seth Brown was about 5 years, 12 million. Buddy, you're 32. You're not playing that long. We're going to arbitration. All right, arbitration, he made 2.6 last year. We'll give him the same thing again, see if he takes that. Abraham Toro, we're also going to offer arbitration, bump his salary up a little bit. He was pretty solid for us last year. Miguel Andujar is 30. We'll kind of see what offer he's looking for. 5 years, 9 mil. A lot of these guys, it's hard for me to like offer them crazy money. We'll bump his salary up slightly. And then Carlos Perez is 34. Yeah, buddy, we'll be seeing you. Now, free agency's here, and there are some guys that are qualified offers, and we're trying to basically come out here and make some plays happen. So we need a closing pitcher. I'm tired of Zach Jackson. We're going to try to get Tanner Scott. We're offering him 3 years, $36.5 million. He likes that a lot more than he likes what the Marlins offered him. The Phillies are currently going after Jeff Hoffman and Matt Strahm. You kind of sense the trend here. I'm going after our bullpen and trying to bolster that up a lot. We are trying to go after both of these guys right now. Now, Hoffman he's targeting like a 5 year, $23.5 million, but we know the Phillies are really only offering him like not a ton, but he really wants financial security right now. Like us trying to move this deal down a little bit, like he's not really having it. He wants an average of 5 mil per year. So I think if I get it to 5 mil per year, oh man, even if we drop it to 3 years, like he definitely wants a 4-year deal. I'm willing to pay 4 years, 20 million. I will do that. 4 years, 20 million. He likes this more than what he's getting from the Phillies. And then Matt Strahm, we did the same exact thing. We go make him an offer. We see what he's kind of looking for. I'm willing to do a 3-year deal for him because I don't want to lock up like too much money. I'm gonna do a 3-year, $14.5 million. Because if I get both, great. If I don't get both, that's totally fine too. But he likes our deal better than he likes the Phillies deal. And that's okay right now. So the offers we're officially making here for free agency in this first round are Tanner Scott at 36 mil over 3 years. Bregman, which I think could be major. We can move Morel over to shortstop. Bregman can play multiple different positions. He kind of fits really well with what we're trying to do. Bregman would be at 63 mil across 5 years. Hernandez, I'm actually going to pull the Hernandez deal because I think he's going to be a guy that maybe, doesn't sign early on and we'll be fine. Jeff Hoffman, the relief pitcher, and Strahm. So we're going 3 relief pitchers in Scott, Hoffman, and Strahm. And then the only position player we're targeting is Bregman to kind of see if that domino falls. Ladies and gentlemen, we have signed Alex Bregman to a 5-year, $63 million deal. This is going to change a lot of things for this team. Oh my God. To make things even better, we got Bregman, which was great news. We got Tanner Scott, a real life closing pitcher. I feel so much better about having a 92 overall closing pitcher instead of Zach Jackson. The Nationals signed Clay Holmes, who won all those had all those saves last season. He goes on a decent deal. The Yankees tried to make him an offer, but apparently it wasn't good enough. The Yankees now go after a big trade, getting a second baseman and Nico Horner. They're going to trade Anthony Volpe. Oh my God, they traded Volpe? Is it Volpe or Volpe? I can't remember. And Francisco Fernandez to land Nico. That is a massive trade, in my opinion, for the Cubs. Corbin Burns is also going to sign a 5-year, $69.5 million deal to go to the Padres. So they're trying to obviously compete out there. Now, I'm looking around in free agency, and I'm noticing that Max Fried has not signed yet. He's getting offered from Atlanta, getting offered from Baltimore, getting offered from Cincinnati, and they've offered him decent money, but he's not really super interested. And I could use another elite caliber pitcher on our team. I'm going to make a move. Now, what I'm kind of seeing right here is like we're seeing the 5-year stuff, and he's not really happy with like the money. 3 years, 51 mil is like pretty crazy. I throw in a player option maybe, but like he wants like 17 mil a year, and he's just like not getting anything. And if we go back really quickly, 3 years, 36 million is like what, 12.5 million. So I'm going to offer 3 years, like 38 million, which gives him a little bit more than that. And I feel like that's going to be, I mean, he'll be more happy to come here than to go there. Like, that's the hometown team. Like, yeah, look how bad these offers are. This is a really bad interest level. I mean, he was not interested in the contract. Well, why is he interested with Atlanta? So what we opted to do for Max Fried after he declined the other offer, which was better than the offer he's getting from Atlanta, we're giving him a 3-year, $44 million deal. A little bit more money. Isn't going to break the bank for us, but gives us a guy that could be a bona fide starter. A1 day one. Now, while we're waiting for a couple of the last free agents to basically sign with us or with somebody else, there is a little bit of a draft lottery out. Now, the good news is we were 4th last year, so we have a 13.2% chance for the #1 pick in this upcoming draft lottery. I am hoping that we're able to, you know, get to that top 3 spot. As long as we're top 5, I'm okay. But I would love to be top 3 in this situation. Let's see how it goes. Please, good news. Please. I'm on pins and needles. What is gonna how long does this take? Okay, we got 4th again. I mean, the Nationals went up 4 spots. They were 5th and they go there. That's crazy. It is what it is, though. We ended with the number 4 spot. That's exactly where we were the previous season. But again, I will absolutely take that. A top 5 draft spot is going to be great. Now, the Cubs end up getting a pretty big signing here. Gleyber Torres, you saw, obviously, the Yankees moved on, got a different second baseman. Gleyber now goes to the Chicago Cubs at 88 overall. He only went for 5 years, 14.8 mil a year. That's not bad at all. We got another big trade here. The Guardians acquire Nolan Jones from the Rockies for Gavin Williams, a really good starting pitcher at 81 overall at only 25 years of age. And Devison de los Santos, a 21-year-old third baseman, already a 69 overall, a great top prospect. This is a big trade for both teams. I have been trying to get Max Fried for what feels like forever, and he went to the Angels? If we play them, we are destroying them. You better believe it. Okay, so Juan Soto was trying his best to hold out, didn't have a market at all. He only gets 151 mil over 7 years. He gets paid basically nothing in comparison to what you think he would have get paid normally. 26 years of age, locked up till he's 33 in Cincy. Cincy has a really good team kind of built around him, but still that's not the money we thought Soto would have got. All right, so Paul Blackburn won his arbitration. He's getting like 4.3 million now, and that's cool, but we're getting you up out of here, buddy, because the Orioles, while you might be thinking getting Grayson Rodriguez is kind of crazy, they have Manoah, John Means, Paul Skeens, Dean Creamer, and Cole Irvin all sitting ahead of him right now. He is number 6 in their rotation, so he's probably even just going to be sitting in the bullpen as a long relief guy or maybe a spot starter. He gets an opportunity to come over here, be part of our rotation, and be part of a great young pitching staff. And we give up again Blackburn and Ryan Lasco, who's a young guy we have in center field who's not going to be playing because we have Riley Green ahead of him and a pretty stacked outfield with James Wood, Seth Brown. Where is Drew Jones? We'll find that out in a moment here, but we're going to go ahead and make this trade happen. So here we are. Somehow, the contracts that were supposed to be tendered for some of our major rookies, like Soderstrom, like Drew Jones, like one other guy that I'm blanking on right now, didn't go through, so we lost 3 of our most... Jacob Wilson. 3 of our most pivotal rookies, young players that we had, did not go through. So we're out here trading players we already have to get them back. I'm crying. This trade is going to be Shane Langeliers, our starting catcher, who we wanted to keep for Tyler Soderstrom, because they're definitely interested in making that deal. For Drew Jones, we're having to give up Seth Brown, our starting left fielder, potentially, who knows, and Clark Elliott. So here we are, buddy, making another move to get a guy that we had back on our team. No wonder the Orioles wanted to make a trade with us so bad. They're like, oh yeah, we already got one of your guys for cheap. And then to get Jacob Wilson, the third and final major piece that we actually cared about, we have to trade Nick Allen, who was our starting shortstop. Again, not a super highly rated guy to 70 overall. Wilson, again, is pretty comparable. Hogan Harris, who we don't care about. Sorry, Hogan, you're not playing here. And then JT Ginn, another kind of journeyman prospect we have. It sucks, but at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we have these guys back on our team. And officially, we do. Now, from a lineup standpoint, the team feels largely improved. We got Gelof as our starter. We have Riley Green as our second guy. Bregman 3, Morel 4. That's a really tough 1 through 4, if you ask me. Then we go Manzardo, who showed a lot of pop and a lot of power last year. James Wood behind him. Then it's Jacob Wilson, Soderstrom, and Drew Jones. Pretty much 3 rookies that we lost and had to trade back for, batting right back in the order there. Then on the bench, we have Noda, Butler, Toro, Andujar, 4 guys we can kind of count on to come in and do some stuff when we need them to. On the pitching rotation side, I wish I had one more lefty. Maybe we acquire one at a different point, but for now, we have Montgomery as our sole lefty, as our ace. Then we have Matt Manning, Grayson Rodriguez, Brian Bello, and Daniel Espino. Then you move into the bullpen. We're largely improved here. We have Miller. Medina actually is going to be in there getting some time to really throw around in the bullpen, which will be great for him because he could be a starter at some point. Muller. Then we get Matt Strahm, Zach Jackson as our middle relief guys, Jeff Hoffman is our setup guy, Urseg is our maybe potential setup guy, and then Tanner Scott really is a closer. This team should be potentially a playoff team, but if not, I'm going to be making some trades. I got to get in the playoffs this year. Now, picking up here, we're playing a very talented team, obviously, in the Baltimore Orioles, who we've made some trades with, and we had to get a guy back from. But Jackson Holiday and Matt Strahm are about a battle. I'll take a first pitch strike. Now, we're obviously a little afraid of this man bunting, but he said, nah, I'm not bunting. Drew Jones, who we again had to reacquire back when some shenanigans happened, is out here making a great play in left field. So we got a 1-run lead here in the top of the 8th with 2 on. Tim Anderson now playing in Baltimore again. Baltimore, a very good team. Oh, Drew Jones is fast, but I don't know if he's that fast. Oh my God, he is. Looking like his daddy out there. What a play. Jordan Westberg, triple, a single, and an RBI. He's trying to get another RBI right here, but we're trying to say, nah, we brought in some guys to help our team, and this is one of them right now. And seeing what this bullpen update is going to be looking like for us. We're testing them strong in the first game. And I also feel good because we're going up against a very good Baltimore Orioles team that could very well be a playoff, if not a contender for the title. Got a 1-2 count. Try to get him swinging. Going to run this one inside a little bit. 2 inside, full count. I'm a little nervous because if we don't get this, it's Rushman that's going to be coming up to bat. We just missed, and that was bases loaded for Adley Rushman. All right, well, he's got 0 for 2, 2 walks, so maybe we're catching him in a little bit of a slump. Yeah, we got to get something going here. Here goes a cutter. Got him swinging. Okay, he stopped that one, which is going to keep it to just 1 run. That could have been worse. That could have been worse, but we kept it to 1 run because we got that stop. Facing a lefty, so we got a little bit of an advantage here. It's hit to Jones, who's already made multiple plays this inning. He's going to close this inning out at a tie going into the 9th, or bottom of the 8th. All right, Soderstrom, again, another one of those rookies that we had to get back after the signing snafu, but here we go. Tyler Wells versus Tyler Soderstrom. We'll take that first one. Man, super early on that. Broke his bat on that one. Unbelievable. 1 down for Baltimore. Tie game still. All right, Drew Jones was amazing in the field. Last year, obviously, figured things out in the major league. Let's see if he's a little bit better this year. Drew Jones, way to get a hit, young fella. Oh my God, let's go. All right, up to the top of the order. That's why we wanted, Drew Jones there. He's kind of like a second leadoff guy with that speed. All right, Zach's got to get something going here. Oh my God, we're missing. Oh, that's deep in the hole. He's safe. Let's go. Way to leg that one out. Tim Anderson not able to get the stop there. Now it's Riley Green with 2 guys on, 1 out. Riley Green, a little bit of pop on that one. Mullins tracks it down, but he's not going to be able to stop our guy from getting all the way over to third base. So now we got to run 90 feet away from home. This is going to be close. All right, Bregman was our big signing. He's got 2 walks today, 0 for 2 outside of that. We need Bregman to step up. That is not what we should have swung at. Uneventful ending to that inning. We need the pitching to lock up here in the top of the 9th. Ryan Mountcastle, plenty of pop in his bat. Need to get a strike in here. Ooh, a little swing and a whiff. Another one. Way to paint the edge of the plate. Our pitcher's definitely getting tired, but we're trying to get an out or 2 here. Wilson. Oh, he had to gather himself a little bit too much, but way to stop that one. We're going to bring Jeff Hoffman in again, the other reliever that we ended up signing this all season, to see if he can help maybe turn a double play. Great first pitch. Ooh, foul ball, luckily. The first slider here. That's a little bit too inside. Trying to get a solid end to this game here. We got him swinging and missing. All right, 1 down. All right, now it's Cedric Mullins. We got back-to-back lefties that we're facing. This makes things a lot more difficult. We would love to get a double play here to end this one. So close, but Mully ain't swinging. Paints the corner, and he rips that one. Second lefty in a row. Swung on one that he did not want to swing at. But we're looking at the 8 hitter right now. We do not want to go to the top of the order again. We need to get out of here. Going back inside. That nearly hit him. That was close. Maybe that scared him, though. Okay, we'll take that. 2 strikes now. Gonna try to get him on and out here. Foul off. Gonna run one inside and low. It goes outside and he just keeps it on his shoulders. 2 down now. Jackson Holiday gonna be back up, and he's the number 9 hitter for Baltimore. This is not a guy you want to face in the number 9 spot. He's not swinging at that one. Holiday, one of the brightest young players in major leagues right now. Doesn't swing a one down the middle of the plate. That's a meatball. Right back at him with a slider again. We don't get it. We throw it home. It's going to be off target. And they have a 1-run lead. Our guys just trying to get out of this inning at this point with 2 guys on and 2 outs. Nice fastball. He's late on that one. Gonna try to run one up and in. And he swung and missed. Okay. I hate that we gave up a run, but we're still in this one. All right, here comes Felix Bautista. And I'm scared about this one. But we've got our guys coming up. Morel's up here. It's our number 4 hitter. Would have loved to have Bregman get a hit in the last inning, but here we are. Some heat from Bautista. We didn't go. We didn't go. Thank God. Oh, that 101 ain't no joke. I feel silly. All right, it's Manzardo up now. At least it's a lefty versus him. I mean, this speed is just insane. In the dirt. Hey, he wants to throw wild. We'll let him throw wild. God, we shouldn't have swung at a ball inside like that. Because, I mean, if you're not early, it's not looking good. Things not looking good, but James Wood is up, so we do have a lefty. But Bautista is throwing some absolute heat at this point. Wood trying to go crazy on one. Just absolute precision here. Hey, look, Bautista is an absolute stud. That's why you go out there and get a great reliever. Our relievers were pretty good. We just, you know, it's luck of the draw. The Orioles are going to be a great team. And I think this season will be a great team too. Just, unfortunately, not on opening day. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.